to find your Jason Momoa. What does that mean? Jason Momoa, I think he's hot. He's desirable. Definitely my hall pass, am I right? When you're coming off of a separation, a divorce, you've been single for a while, you're ready to find love, you're ready to date again, put yourself out there. What should you be looking for? I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor. Do your work with professionals. This is just my perspective based on my experience. So that being said, how do we find our perfect mate? I can't advocate enough how important your self-work is to attracting your Jason Momoa, your Charlie Hunnam, your Tom Hardy, your Chris Hemsworth, your Henry Cavill. The man that you desire, the one that validates your emotions, the one that listens to you, one that notices the little things, does things without you having to ask, and also be a solid mountain for you to show your unhealed self to. But you feel safe for them to come on because he can go there with you. Traits that I would look for, someone who values mentorship and therapy. Number one, having a mentor that can really call you out on your bullshit is highly valuable. It's invaluable. Someone who can be vulnerable. Now, this is one that's very controversial in the guru male coaching world. We're told as men, if we are vulnerable with women, that is going to be used against us later. But the truth is, vulnerability, it precedes intimacy. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be honest. There is a way to be composed and be vulnerable. I think that's where the disconnect is. Being able to feel emotions, express emotions, does not make one less of a man. If you're with someone who struggles with expressing emotion or being vulnerable, let them know they're safe. What do we got so far? Value mentorship, okay with being vulnerable, expressing self in a composed way, willing to admit fault, take ownership. That goes for both parties. Conflict, especially seeking to understand versus trying to win the conflict, is infinitely valuable long term. You have to do that as well. Can't just be on their part. But if they're willing to do it, that's a really good sign. And this is more tactical. I'm someone who has a baby mama. I'm someone who has a child from a previous relationship. If they have kids, how do they speak about the mother of their child? It's okay to not have a perfect relationship with a mother of your child. It is okay to have conflict with the mother of your child. It is not okay to speak evil about the mother of your child or constantly speak ill of them, especially in front of the child. Keep a very close pulse on the relationship between him and the mother of his child if he has children from other relationships. Also, ask tough questions early. Get aligned in your values. The first or second you date, start asking tough questions about parenting, values, morals, religion, family, career. 5 years from now, what's the plan? Where are we going? Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you value in relationship? What are your sexual kinks, day-to-day love language? How do you like to be loved? If you have a disagreement there or a misalignment, is it a deal breaker or is it not? Is it something you can work through? Is it not? Find out early. Don't leave these conversations to come up 6-8 months down the road when you've invested time and energy and now it's an issue, especially if there's kids involved. When should they meet your kids? My personal view, why wait? I don't mean introduce the first week. I think after a couple months, see how they do, because the last thing you want to do, in my opinion, is wait a year for them to meet your child and then it doesn't go well. It's terrible. Now you've wasted a year with this person. Follow your intuition as a parent, follow your gut, feel good on their judge of character based on these conversations. Why not? See how it goes. Because that's a very important thing. It's a deal breaker, right? What does your self-work regimen look like and how are you cultivating growth within yourself? I had a therapist one time and he goes, Maverick, what are your top traits that you want in a partner? I listed out 25 to 30 things. Physical fitness. I got to be able to take accountability. They got to do this, X, Y, Z, da, 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 da. It was like at least 30 things, right? And he goes, great. Do you have all those? And I did. You have to become the person you want to attract. When you have cultivated those traits within self, they will find you. You will attract them. You don't have to be completely healed to go into an intimate relationship. In fact, I believe there is some healing that we can only do in partnership because that's when the rubber meets the road. It's easy to have a portrayal like a super healed self when we're single, when no one's tested it every day with their bullshit. Right? My best self has only come out being with my partner who was willing to put in these reps with me and no matter what, accept all of me and invite more of me into the room. It's a wonderful feeling. I want that for all of you. It is your birthright to have someone who values you, who grows with you, who is attentive to your needs, listens to your needs, and loves you beyond measure. You were worthy then and you're worthy now. So don't think that you have to be totally healed to get in a relationship. This last one's gonna hurt a little bit. It's gonna sting. One thing I've noticed with women in particular, this is not a knock toward women. I love women. I work with women solely. So obviously I love you and that's where this comes from. I hear a lot of women list out non-negotiables they require in men. He has to make 6 figures. He gotta be 6 feet tall. His dick's gotta be this big. He's gotta drive this car. He's gotta do this. And you're bringing next to nothing yourself to the table. Reality check. If you are listing all of these things you require in a man in terms of his wealth, his physical stature, his looks, etc., you better be very honest about what you are bringing to the table. Now, a lot of those things are superficial and they fade with time. But that being said, if you want these things in a partner, you better be damn sure cultivating those things in you. I see this all the time, and I went on multiple dates before meeting my partner. The person sitting across from me at the dinner table listed out all these things they want in a man. Awesome. What are some great things you love about yourself that you bring to this business transaction? I'm just kidding, to this potential relationship. They were still working on some stuff. It wasn't a fit because I desire someone who matches, not wealth-wise, but matches me in the support, the growth. We can be on different paths, but be aligned. And that's what it comes down to. Are we aligned? And so you want to find someone whose values are congruent and your paths are aligned. The rest will figure itself out. I'm still looking for Jason Momoa. I know he's going to find me one day. Hope this was valuable, y'all. Trying something different. If you enjoyed it, comment below. ESC out.